The opinions and comments expressed in this podcast are solely those of the students and do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of sjspr.radio or St. John's School.
Hey, you are tuning into sjspr.radio. This is Senior Talk, the show where we pick seniors' brains about school life and real life. I am your host, Nicolás Rivera, and joining me in this episode is my guest and fellow senior, Lorenzo, Lolo, Nuñez.
What's up?
Well, Lolo, today we have a bunch of topics that we can talk about and touch upon today.
Yes, sir.
First of all, man, we're finally seniors.
Yeah.
Like it's finally like after all these years, we've been in St. John's for so long. I've been since you've been 12 years. I've been since pre-kinder, and I don't know. It's been a ride. Yeah. It's been a real crazy ride, and just being here in this point, it almost feels like it's not real. But hey, what were you?
With all the work, I think it kind of feels real.
Well, with all the work, yeah, it feels real. But like when you look back on it, it doesn't feel like.
Yeah, everything kind of blends together. And it's
yeah.
just
Right.
Like,
yeah. So, what were your expectations going into your senior year? Now, like after all this work.
Well, like finishing the first semester, I think, like my expectations were met in a way because I knew it was gonna be like I was gonna be working a lot on the college stuff, yeah. And that it was gonna be like there was gonna be that stress in the back of my mind for the first semester, and definitely it's there, like It was there, but now that we're finishing off and it's kind of dying down, I think that I may have overestimated like the stress I was gonna have. Yeah. And that may just be in my case. 'Cause I'm also not applying to a bunch of places and like their schools aren't really competitive or whatever. But I think I'm chill now.
Yeah, I know you, and you've been like pretty decided on the places that you've been wanting to go, like the career you want to take right now. So, what are some of those schools that you like know for sure? I mean, I know, but let other people know, you know. What are some of those schools that you're interested in?
Berklee College of Music in Boston was my number one. And I submitted all that. I did my auditions in January. And then also, I was nominated for the Posse Arts Foundation scholarship, which was, if you remember, Alyssa last year got that for Bard College. And so I'll be doing that, like, finalist interview in December. Which I'm really excited about because I feel that's like, I mean, it's a big scholarship and it's a lot, so.
Mano, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
But that's awesome. So why music? Why did you choose like a career path for music?
I think it's just circumstance for me. Mm-hmm. Like I grew up around a lot of musicians. My family is full of musicians, and so it was kind of like it was just around me. So why not do it? I think as I've grown older, there's like a deeper, like I love it, obviously. It's not just because everyone else around me is doing it. But al principio, pues, that's why. And now it's just become sort of my passion.
That's awesome. Yeah. What specific path in music are you taking right now?
I'm planning on studying composition with like composition, screen scoring for visual media.
Yeah, and you've been doing a lot of those for the school, like any event, any chance you get. You've been able to like in any of those events, whether it's like the musical or it's like a showcase for the theater department, you've been able to showcase your skills. And has that helped you in any way with like gaining an experience, like maybe like easing off like a little bit of the nerves sometimes when it's like finally time to just, you know?
Yeah, definitely it's helped because not only does it give me experience in trying to realize someone else's vision, right? Because it's like when you're a composer and you get commissioned to do something, you have to kind of abide by what the director of the project is telling you to do. And in that respect, it's giving me that experience of, okay, I have these limitations. Let me do my best within these limitations and see what I can do. And it also helps me with my like portfolio because I just have a bunch of stuff that I've done that I didn't necessarily work on for my portfolio specifically, but like now they're there, and so I didn't really have to write anything at this point in the first semester or trying to apply. I just had to transcribe everything and submit it.
How is your portfolio going? El portfolio too, like how's it going?
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I'm there's still some stuff left to transcribe, but it's there. It's all there and it's all recorded.
Yeah, so. I'm going into some I'm taking some arts myself. Like I'm gonna minor in theater, most likely in college, and I never knew that. Like an art portfolio is for someone who is gonna major in this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't sure about that. I don't know. I wasn't sure if I had to do it when I first was thinking about this. But as I'm going into theater, I wouldn't have been surprised if I was required like an audition in my submission for college. You have an audition for your college, right?
I have, for all of them. For all of them, because they're all music programs. But I feel in your case, since it's a minor, I think it also depends on the school. But since it's a minor, then I guess you sort of just like you go in, and since not a lot of people are minoring in theater, there's not as much limited space.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just get in and then take the class.
So how has been like your preparation for? Because everyone's preparation for college would be like studying, getting the GPA up, and making sure you have all of your extracurriculars in check and everything. Your preparation in this case is just kind of like your auditions, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of audition. I've been audition prepping for like a year and a half en el conservatorio with my guitar teacher, just getting the repertoire up, practicing. Obviously the GPA stuff is like still important,
Claro.
But it's not as important for schools like Berkeley, for example, that are test blind and just rely on the audition. I got a pretty good score on the SAT. Like I'm not mad about it or anything, but I didn't take it again because I didn't think like, there needs to be better for the schools. Like what I'm going into, there's more emphasis on your skill and your attitude and your passion towards what you're majoring than what your academics were in high school.
Yeah. So what steps are you taking for the rest of the year now that we've had like our expectations in check and like we're living through these moments now in our senior year? What is left for you to accomplish to really, to get to where you want to be and set yourself for your future career?
I think it's just like finishing the submission of everything and just laying back and practicing and trying to do my best in the auditions. Because it's not as like I said, it's not as focused like on academics. I feel like obviously I need to pass senior year.
Claro.
And I will. But
you have to graduate, buddy.
Yeah, I had to graduate. But I feel like in the second semester when everything's submitted, I'll be able to enjoy it a little more and kind of, because I like all the classes I picked for this year. They're all really fun, and I feel like if I submit everything before holiday break and I have everything done, then it should be like pretty fine. So were you doing pre-med?
I'm going into pre-med. That's my goal. Like every step that I've taken, probably since 10th grade has been aligned towards pre-med. In 9th grade, I wasn't really like conscious about like a lot of this stuff. It was just like, oh, I'm taking the science classes and the theater classes. That's what I like the most. But now it's like, in 10th grade, I was like, okay, now I actually have to really get into the science, really get into the theater. Every chance I get to have some sort of experience or just like receive some kind of knowledge for the future is like, now it's everything that I do is just for that, which will lead into my future career path, which is pre-med and theater. I'm gonna major in most likely biology and do the minor in theater.
So for bio, what specialization are you thinking for med school?
I haven't really thought about much. I haven't really thought about that a lot because I mostly thought about professions, like maybe specialities beforehand. Like I was like, oh, radiology is awesome. Yeah. I've always loved radiology. I've been in the hospital not many times, but the couple of times that I've had to do because I've broken something or like I had some kind of long-term chronic allergy or whatever. Like they've had to do x-rays on me, and I was always like fascinated by all the machines and stuff. So
why medicine specifically? Is it like a, because I know you've always been a science guy, like since I've known you. Yeah. And it's like, that seems like the right path, but there's a bunch of different sciences. You're like a bio guy. Yeah.
And most of my family, from mostly my mom's side, they've always been inclined with helping people in different professions. Like I've had a family member that's been like a detective. My mom is a speech pathologist. Yeah. My grandpa was a administrator of hospitals. Yeah. So even though he didn't really get into the medicine aspect, he was involved in that humanitarian environment. So mostly getting into that and being inspired from them and all the stories they've told me, all the values that my family holds, it's just kind of like inclined me towards I want to help people in whatever way, shape, or form I can. Even I could even say that for theater, it's like when you act, whether it's like a comedy or a drama, you're like helping this person either like laugh or cry out whatever emotions they need to like bring out, because it's just like you're portraying these characters that could very much relate to people in real life. And even though if people might not think it, like you're emulating emotions and experiences that people have gone through. And so in a way that's like therapeutic for them. It could help them, making them laugh. I just think, I don't know. I've always had this weird inclination of like helping people in any way I can. So that's why I've also thought about like psychology as one of the other like specialities. Just because I talk a lot. Yeah. Clearly, I've been previously invited to this podcast on various occasions, like for the musical. So because I'm prone to talk a lot. Yeah. And yeah, I just think talking is also like another good form of medicine. Sometimes like it's not with actions. It's not just like the science aspect with pills or anything. Sometimes it's just sitting down and just trying to understand the person that's like right in front of you. So, yeah.
So you mentioned the musical. You were here to promote the musical.
Yeah.
You are the lead, Usnavi, in the Heights. How do you feel about that? I'm very proud of you. I knew you'd get it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Man, like, it's crazy. Like, I was so excited when they announced In the Heights because the Chiquito, I've always, like, the first musical that I ever watched and enjoyed fully, even though it's like I'm sure it's a popular opinion, but for a lot of people, they have, like, mixed opinions. It's Hamilton. Yeah. I don't know why Lin-Manuel's writing was, like, so great in that, and even though some people don't like his repetitive use of some, I don't know, certain lyrics, certain songs, like, oh, he's just repeating the same song, but this and this other thing. It's like, well, okay, but that's the beauty of it. Yeah, so it works. It works in the different contexts within that the characters live throughout in the story. It's beautiful, and I thought that was amazing. The characters, the music, the choreography, the cinematography, like everything is amazing. Like this, el escenario, it's all amazing. And I've always wanted to do like a Hamilton or just something of a Lin-Manuel work. And doing In the Heights, it's kind of like a dream come true for me, because not only do I get the privilege of playing Usnavi de la Vega, that's his last name.
I didn't know that. I actually didn't know he had a last name.
Yeah, I didn't either until I researched it. And yeah, I am super excited. When we first found out, they had called me and Sara Beatriz, another fellow senior of ours, into the office. I think it was Friday in our last block. Yeah. And they had told us, guys, you're going to be announcing the musical to the school. We want it to be you guys because we're the seniors that have been bestowed upon the privilege to do the hoo-has. The hoo-has.
So explain that for the people that don't know.
Yeah, so for the people that don't know, the hoo-has is a tradition in the musical that happens every year, every single time before like a show, like a function. There's like the Friday one, the Saturday one, Sunday, and every single time before a function, we do the hoo-has. It's when people get together like in a circle. And there's like a little circle and a circle, and the people in the middle are the oldest seniors, or the seniors that have been in the musical the longest. And you start chanting, "What time is it? Showtime. What time is it? Showtime. In the Heights in the house, hoo-ha. In the Heights in the house, hoo-ha." And then you keep on going up and building that energy until the whole place is just going to erupt with like emotion, and everyone's just screaming that out and jumping, because that's the point of theater. You want to build up that energy, especially in a function in such a hyped up musical like this. Yeah, that tradition is not just to get everybody going, but it's to show that we're together in these moments, and that yes, everyone might be nervous, but like, you know, we have each other.
It gets the energy up, and especially for In the Heights, it was just such a high energy musical. It's like, you really need it. It's one of my favorite like pre-show rituals that we do, because it's. And you guys you and Sara have been in what, like 7 musicals?
This would be my ninth, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I've been since 4th grade doing this. I've been in Addams Family, Wedding Singer, Legally Blonde. We've been in Grease. Shrek. Not in that order. We've done Broadway Review during the pandemic, which is where we couldn't actually do like a live performance. We had to kind of like record different scenes of different musicals and kind of make like a bohemia out of them, and display them on like a theater, you know, to keep people like protected during the COVID-19. Grease again, because the first time Grease happened was literally the day that COVID shut everything down. Yeah. Literally, it was on a Thursday. The Thursday when we were doing the final dress rehearsal, we were like, "Oh, we're finally doing the whole show. We're doing it." And then that day, Ortiz came in and like shut it. He like told us that we had to shut everything down, and it was the day right before La Primera Función, and it was really sad. But then we got a chance to do it again because we still had the rights, and so we did it, and it was a success. It was amazing.
And it was a new cast, but pretty new cast too, and it was
2 years had passed. Yeah, 2 years had passed between the old cast and the new cast, and it was amazing. Like everybody, like it was awesome. Like seeing the differences, the recast. Some people were casted similar, had like a similar role. Like for example, Cecilia Goldberg stayed as Sandy. Yeah. But most of the whole cast changed. Like I got to do Sonny, and yeah. And then lastly, last year we did Fiddler on the Roof, which is amazing. Yep. It was a risk to do Fiddler on the Roof because it's not really well known.
Yeah, definitely, and it's so long.
Yeah, it's really long.
Good.
It's amazing. The characters are awesome. The orchestra with the music is beautiful, especially the orchestra that we got del Conservatorio this year.
And I loved the instrumentation from last year specifically because it was such a departure from Grease, which was really like rock instrumentation. Yeah, this was super like just a bunch of like strings and horns, and it was really intricate, and I loved that aspect last year specifically.
Oh yeah, I love that too. And now this year going into In the Heights, like last year was more. What would you use for the word for the music of Fiddler on the Roof?
I think it was more probably like. Actually, they're just different styles. Yeah. Like I think In the Heights is very like Latino. Salsa, like really in the heights. Really hip hop. And hip hop too, like really in the heights style. Yeah. And I think that's gonna be really fun this year because maybe it's not necessarily like ethereally beautiful like the
the orchestra is not gonna it's not gonna be like,
but it's gonna make everyone dance. Like it's gonna be really fun.
That's what I love about this year's musical because as soon as we found out and we announced it to the school, like I just immediately started playing the playlist, like from top to bottom. Yeah. Every single song, especially the songs that I wanted to, for Usnavi, because obviously I was like, okay, this is my senior year, like, it's time, it's time, finally, yeah, I want my part in the.
You gotta shoot for the head.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
And from top to bottom, I learned almost every song basically in full verbatim by the time that the auditions rolled around. And obviously, I was gunning for Usnavi. It was like, for me, it was like Usnavi or bust. Because like everything else was going to feel, like any other role that I was going to get was going to feel wrong. So now heading into those auditions, like it was very tense because the directors and everybody involved in that process of casting they kept on telling us that it's a really hard, it was really hard decisions to make for who was who because everybody was so talented, everybody was amazing, and everybody could fit in almost any other character, and it was really great. Yeah. And that had me really nervous because I was like, well, if they're saying that, then I can just be anywhere, and it could not be Usnavi. But I was very fortunate that a lot of the hard work that I did paid off, and I did get into that character.
That's gonna be really good this year. Go to the musical, everybody. Watching.
Yeah, no, this year, if you haven't gone before, this year you want to go. Trust me,
definitely.
Trust me.
Last year, and if you went last year and you thought it was slow, we promise. This year is gonna be top notch.
Oh yeah, top notch. So Lolo, what? I know you auditioned for the musical this year too, because you're a music guy. So, what? When you were going into audition, what were your expectations?
Well, I wanted to have Benny. Like, my preferred character was Benny. Because he was just one of my favorite characters in the Heights. Mm. And then I ended up not getting Benny and getting Piragua guy, but I think it was kind of like I was like kind of bummed at the start, but then as I thought about it, I was like, this is giving me the chance to have a lot of fun with the character because Piragua guy is not really as defined a character as Benny.
Yeah.
So I can put like more of my own thing into it and have way more fun. And I think like it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, Benny has more of an established backstory, more of an established like where his origins. He's very American. He's not like everybody else. Everybody's like either has family from Latin America anywhere or in the or del Caribe, right? Like Benny is American, and so he has to be established with that stereotype that he doesn't understand Spanish. He doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to dance salsa or anything. And that he sometimes does feel like he's out of place, but that gets more into the story of the musical.
Yeah, that's just like that's just his character, his place in the story, which is a great like I love Benny as a character. It's great, but I think as an actor, going into Piragua guy and thinking about the process of playing him, it's like there's a lot more freedom in the interpretation.
Yeah, exacto. Piragua guy is just kind of like.
He just sells piraguas. That's his one character trait.
That's his character trait. He's just the typical piragua that you see like in Ocean Park or something around in the beaches, just selling to you, mantecado de coco, de parcha de piña, de cherry, whatever it is, and all that stuff. Like it's like he's like those guys, and you just kind of have to embody. Like one day, if you're acting out piragüero, like you could literally just sit down, go to a beach, and just look watch the ice cream guy just like walk around with his cart, just like kind of like going about his day, maybe struggling a little bit, but hey, he's like making buck, and so you just kind of like and that's the fun thing. Like you could just take in a lot of different approaches for piragua guy, like whatever you want to do. Like sky's for the limit for you. So.
And the songs are really fun too.
The songs are amazing.
Piragua is just like it's really fun to sing and it's really fun to listen to. Like it makes me want to dance every time I listen to it.
It's so great. There's a reprise of it.
Yeah, exactly.
The reprise is like a
they give like a follow up to the first one.
Exacto. It's like the song originally plays like at one point in the musical, and then later on, like as a form of a transition between scenes or something, to have a little bit more of like world building at times or character building. Yeah. They have like a reprise of that song coming up again, and displaying like a fun moment for the character and stuff.
It's a really funny character. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. Pero I've known you for a while, and I know that you love portraying characters that are like musically oriented. They're funny, and man, desde chiquito, like, did you ever like see yourself doing anything like this?
Well, we were in Wedding Singer and Legally Blonde together. Yeah, and those were really fun experiences that I really enjoyed. And then for a while, I wasn't in the musical. Yeah. I was just sort of focusing on like making music myself.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. I remember you told me that you want. Oh, I want to take a break from the musical. I want to like see it once. Like I understand the technical aspect now. Yeah. And now like I want to see it in the audience perspective to see like that.
Yeah, because I enjoy musical theater a lot. Like I love going to watch musicals, and I love like obviously the music aspect of it, and so I stayed away from the musicals for a while, and then coming back last year for Fiddler, which was my first time like auditioning, like actually for like a cast audition, because obviously Wedding Singer and Legally Blonde, it was just like, oh, let's pick like 15 kids from like 4th to 6th grade to be like,
hey, we were backup dancers. No, we were pretty good backup dancers.
Yeah, we were pretty good. There's footage somewhere from Legally Blonde.
Oh yeah,
you guys who are listening can find it.
Well, so in the middle of this recording, we
there's a fire alarm.
Got caught into a fire drill. It wasn't even a drill. It was an actual like fire alarm. You can tell when it's a drill because they announce it, and you can tell when it's the real alarm because the real alarm sounds a lot more. And so most likely at some point in the audio, you're gonna hear the sound in the.
So we're back.
We're back. We're back. We're unburned.
Good.
We're fine. We left our bags here, so those probably burned. So I can't get into college anymore, but that's cool. But no, that's fine. Back into it.
Where were we?
I think we were starting talking about our childhood memories, like being together. Because I mean, you and I have been together, like Desde Chiquito, freaking there. Definitely. Being a part of these musicals, being a part of a lot of the activities that we share. School field trips, like in some of those images that you see over there, like we were in La Palguera just together, like the school field trips. La Feria, we rode a bunch of rides together.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, that's cool.
We did Don Goyito together.
Oh my god, I forgot my lines. I had to ask for lines.
You forgot your lines.
So embarrassing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to improvise, and then I was like, you remember Miss Maddie had like the mezzanine.
Was that a frame?
Multipurpose?
Yeah, it was like a frame thing.
And she was there, and then like she said like, "Oh, I'm gonna be up there with the book, so like ask for lines."
Oh, could we hear her?
I could hear her because I asked for lines.
Oh, why didn't I have that? Cause like in the thing of we had read a book back in what 8th grade, 7th grade. We'd read it, right?
No, Don Goyito was like 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet I was elementary. So back in 6th grade, we read Don Goyito for Spanish, and then Miss Maddie was like, "Oh, I want to do a play," and it's like, "Oh, Don Goyito, that's perfect." And so she adopted the story that we read and into just a play, and she was casting for all the characters, and for the antagonist of the story.
Yeah.
It was what was his name?
I forgot. I completely forgot. But you and I were like the capitalist investors.
Exactly. It was one antagonist that they decided to split into two because the guy had a lot of lines.
Yeah.
For 6th graders to memorize. So they made it into two like these twins, these like capitalist twins that wanted to steal like Don Goyito's like property or something.
Yeah.
And basically, I remember when we were trying to con him in one of the scenes like of his property, and I remember in one of the lines I remember saying something about London and Europe, like imagine you being there and stuff, and then I just went into an improv session of like just imagine, man, like and I forgot my line eventually, and I had to improv myself out of it. I started coughing a lot and saying, "Oh, I'm a little bit sick. Don't worry about me." I wish I had that mic where Miss Maddie could just tell me my lines, because I was going crazy trying to figure out like my line, thinking about it. But yeah, we shared that. That was crazy.
Yeah. And our friendship has been like, how would you describe it? I feel like it's been so long that at this point it's just like we're just there.
Like we know each other. Like we know, like we have a lot of trust in each other. Like even though we don't hang like back then we didn't hang out as much. But we did, but like now it's like we are very busy people individually, and so maybe you don't get to hang out like as much. But you know, we know each other. We have a trust in each other. You're like a brother to me, my man. And that Chiquito. I didn't even realize how often like we were together until I saw those pictures.
That's really crazy. I have the same thing. It's like we have so many pictures together that I don't even remember.
No, yeah.
And it's like, wow, we were just like all around each other like all the time.
La Feria and Musical, like all the school field trips, we were like often like together.
Just like sit together in the bus.
Yeah, it was fun. It was crazy. It was crazy how long ago it was. That's why like when you've experienced all these 12 years of school, like it just kind of like blends in together, and some of those like little memories, those nice memories of when you were together with your friends just kind of like fade out. They kind of
they jumble up.
They jumble up, and so you might forget, and that's kind of sad, but that's why we take pictures.
Yeah, that's why. Exactly.
That is the reason why we take pictures. That's why at home, your mom, your dad, everybody in your family takes pictures so you can remember those key moments. Yeah, you get annoyed every time. You get annoyed every single time they take pictures of you.
You're gonna want those pictures.
But when you're like 20-something, 30-something, heck, right now I'm 18 and I don't remember some of those. And looking back on those, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. We shared so many moments together. And honestly, it's thanks to those pictures. So honestly, I appreciate it. Yeah, gracias, Ana Millón. I love you. And so, yeah, but that's not encouragement for you to keep on taking so many pictures, because I have like my dad literally, I'm like in a dinner table with our friends and eating, and he's there like invited, and He starts recording the whole thing like if it's a sitcom. I love it so much. And I look at him like with the corner of my eye, like, what are you?
But your dad's a director, so it's always
it's
just always great composition. But they're the randomest photos, but they're just always like awesome. It's really insane.
It's fun, and hey, they do it for a reason. They know what they're doing. Like my dad is 66, like he's lived for so long, and he knows that. Like, you know, you're not, some of those memories, especially, you know, from 66 to 18, like, he knows a lot of those memories are going to fade out. So, recording and keeping track of those pictures and photos and videos of those essential moments are, you know, they're crucial. So, yeah. You may complain, but hey, you know.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are. Exactly.
Thanks to the pictures.
Exactly.
It's been a really, really long time. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, the first time I calculated it, like a few months ago a few weeks ago when we were talking about doing the senior talk, I was like, how long have we actually known each other? And it's like over a decade, like 12 years, like half of our lives almost.
Even using that word decade is insane.
Yeah, it's really crazy, but it's been amazing. Like and we're gonna finish it off strong this year. Well, it's not gonna finish, but I mean in high school.
Yeah. Especially with that musical coming up that you should definitely go watch. We're going to finish strong with that one.
Oh, yeah.
This is like...
We're going to keep shamelessly plugging the musical.
We're going to shamelessly plug the musical because I'm telling you, this year is the year. It's this year. If you want to go, if there's any year to go, it's this year. Trust me, it's going to be amazing.
Trust him, it's not because he's the lead.
It's not because I'm the lead. But I'm telling you...
But it is a little bit because he's the lead.
It is a little bit because I'm the lead. Because when you have such... like a burning passion for something that you're doing, it's going to come out amazing no matter which, and you will find the way to make it amazing just because of that passion. Especially in acting, when you see the actor portraying this character having fun, like it makes you want to have fun. You can see that he's having fun, and so that makes you enjoy it despite all the weird storylines, all the weird lines that they might say or something. Not saying that there are, but you know, in case I don't know something. You just see them, like the whole cast having fun, and that's really what that's the beauty of theater.
And I think the same thing in our friendship, like having that common passion for like theater and the arts has also been like a really joining thing for us. And definitely here in St. John's, like after the last few years, the theater community in St. John's has gotten like really tight-knit. And we've had a lot of like new additions and really talented people, and I hope that the legacy we leave as friends and as people who are part of the theater community here in St. John's is that, you know, the arts are just as important and
as any other
study,
any like STEM related topic, anything. Yeah, we want to leave a legacy here that inspires mostly the younger generation. We are young, but you know, the ones who are like probably like in 4th grade or something. Yeah. Like the little me's and Lorenzos in those grades now to get inspired to just try it. Even if they just want to dance, that's perfect, and that's where everything starts really. Yeah. I just wanted to dance. I in 4th grade I just wanted to dance. And I was in the musical, and now here I am. So now I want to become an actor, or partly want to become an actor, you know. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's really insane how it develops, and how like having that support system here, like between you and me, and also between the people in our community, really like gives you that encouragement.
Yeah, a lot of the faculty has now been mostly pushing a lot of the theater related events. Yeah, a lot of the arts are being pushed, and that was something that was heavily emphasized by a lot of the crew working on the musical, like some of the moms that have been involved, like Marilyn Negrón and Ana Millón, who've been pushing. Yeah, shout out to you guys. You're amazing. Yeah, no, and most importantly, the support we've received from the faculty, like Ortiz and the new headmaster, Cecilia Marquez, has honestly been amazing. Yeah. She's in a lot of the events that have occurred this year, she's been almost attending everything, like so far. And the musical hasn't even come about, and we're prepping her. We've been telling her, like, if you love like the things that we do here, like the small stuff, like
you're gonna love the musical.
You're gonna love the musical. Absolutely. And so I just love how supportive she's been. She's very optimistic, enthusiastic, coming to the performances and just telling us and encouraging us to keep on going, that we really have talent. that's something I'm gonna take away from St. John's once I head into college, go into my career. That even if maybe you don't have a lot of people around you to support you, maybe when you go off to college, because you might not know a lot of people, you're getting used to the system.
Yeah.
Always remember where you came from. No matter where you go, if you go to Europe, if you go to the States, or if you stay in Puerto Rico, just remember, never forget wherever you came from, which for us would be like St. John's, this amazing community that we've been a part of, helped build up to since we were small. And
I think that's like also my main takeaway is that St. John's is we think it's big because we're here, but it's such a small school compared to other school environments.
Yeah, like the campus.
And it's a really like tight-knit community, and I think through having that support and having people be so great with like within the community with us and and us giving that back, I think that moving into new communities and making new people, like making new friends and all that stuff, that's one of the things that I have learned to do best here in St. John's, aside from all the academic stuff, which is obviously great, is how to really contribute to a community in a good way that like helps everyone.
Yeah, 100%. You want to accept everybody and all of their qualities, all of their origins, any interest that they have, because everyone's different, everyone has their own passions, and so when heading into these new environments, you want to be very open, and you also want to be conscious about where they came from, their support systems. And honestly, I don't know, I love St. John's, and I love everything that they've left to us, and everything that they've taught us, prepared us for college. They prepared us really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've heard a lot of seniors out there who have been already like almost done with their first semester in college, and they're like, wow, like St. John's, like it really prepares you.
Yeah.
So this is my opinion. This is the opinion of some of the seniors I've heard around, but like they really prepare you for like what's out there. So at least in the States, because I haven't heard a lot of people from the Europe friends in Europe, but everything's going great for them. So I'm really happy for them. And that gives me a lot of hope for us that, like, hopefully we make the right choices and, we go set into a good path,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, just like that, I think it's about time we close it off, But before we go, I want to thank my fellow senior in this episode, Lorenzo, Lolo Nuñez.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. If you're a senior and haven't signed up yet, contact our radio and creative media coordinator, Pilar Aramo, at 787-948-8986. Please include your name on the text. For sjspr.radio and Senior Talk, this is Nicolás Rivera signing out. Until next time.